Okay, great. My name is Nigel, and I am the head of the commercial awareness with Legal Amity. And today I'll be interviewing Vanessa. Vanessa, welcome. And I would like to ask you a couple of questions, starting with if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to where you are today.
Okay, so I'm Vanessa Challess. I founded Tiger Law and Tiger HR. I qualified into commercial litigation in 2003 and spent the next few years telling people that I hope they never had to speak to me, but when it all went wrong, here's my card, which is quite an uncomfortable message to be marketing, but also it's a very stressful area of work, and all you can ever really do is achieve the least bad outcome for your client, which isn't fantastically positive. I spent years pulling apart other people's contracts, so it gave me a very good insight into what made a good clause and what was ambiguous, had grey areas and could lead to disputes. So when I came out of private practice and started up my own legal consultancy, it was to keep people away from people like me, basically, to put the right paperwork in place before disputes arose. And if disputes arose, they would have the right things to point at to help them. As that grew and my relationships with accountants, IFAs and other professionals who sent me their clients grew, it became quite apparent that we needed to offer reserved activities such as property, and we took a punt, team of about 4 of us at the time, in early 2017. We agreed on the name Tiger, and we opened a fully authorised regulated law firm. So we'll be 4 years old beginning of next year, and there are now 13 of us.
That's amazing. So what motivated you to become a lawyer, and why did you choose the area of practice that you're doing now?
You could ask my mum and dad that. It's because I like arguing. So I read philosophy at university, and you are taught to analyse, critique and build your own arguments. It's a fantastic grounding for the law. I had spoken about being a lawyer from a young age and kind of turned into a naughty teenager and came back to it after my philosophy degree. I remember standing there speaking to my dad on a payphone, because back in the old days, that's what we had, saying, what the hell do I do with a philosophy degree? It's either stay in academia or find something that it's applicable to. And I came back to this idea of being a lawyer. I really was only ever going to be a litigator or a barrister, and I had many pupilages lined up at Temple, and I did a couple of weeks work experience at a local law firm. In the weekend between those two things, I was a passenger in a head-on collision. I spent the summer laid up. I never did my mini pupilages, and I just kind of followed this route. But in terms of practice area, it was only ever going to be fighting, I suppose. And I imagined that commercial litigation involved less human misery than family and personal injury. It's not really the case, because someone's business is integral to their life. So there's a lot of humanity involved with commercial litigation even.
That's good, that's good. What also inspired you to start Tiger Law, and what challenges have you faced within the firm itself and in light of COVID as well?
So generally speaking, the law is pretty conservative in terms of innovation within the law. It's very, very slow moving. You can probably tell I'm not hugely conservative, and I'm probably a really bad employee, because if I can see a better or more ethical way of doing things, that's how I want to do it. When I was interviewed for an NQ position, I was probably 24, 25. I was told, we can't hire you, because I had questioned something that they didn't want to answer. But I was told you will own your own firm one day. So that really rings in my mind a lot. What it has meant for me is that I can practice exactly how I want to practice. We tend to work on fixed fees. We try and be as transparent as we possibly can be. The client is number one. We don't have chargeable targets because I don't want my fee earners thinking, I've only hit 4 hours today, I need to bung an hour on someone. We don't do that. And it's enabled me to start cracking some of those really unpleasant perceptions people have of lawyers. We're desperately unpopular as a profession, and we need to fight that. We need to address the fact that we are only service providers, and we need to provide that service well, and in a modern way. Challenges. I have never taken on an investor or used any third party to fund what I'm doing. I'm also the sole breadwinner in my family. So my challenges have been around how I grow sustainably, but also I'm a risk taker. So I have had to learn to not try to run before I can walk, to be methodical. And being a lawyer is not the same as being a business owner. Don't let any commercial lawyer tell you differently. They get a PAYE check every month. They don't live and breathe what it means to own a business, grow it, and feed your family from it. So any new business owner in any industry will be on a learning curve that's pretty much vertical. You have to sort out your own marketing, your recruitment, your HR, every little detail that goes to making a business work. You've got to find the clients, you've got to do the client work, you've got to make clients pay, you know. So it's not so much the practice area, but actually owning the thing that you're practicing in is a whole new ball game.
That's great. What advice would you give to young and upcoming lawyers that would want to follow your path?
Don't be disheartened if you are being put in a box. Do your time, cut your teeth, learn your trade, learn from everything that you do. If you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up. That's how we learn. You probably will never do it again. And be kind to yourself. Don't spend your time trying to be like everybody else. Retain your individuality and retain your sense of ethics. In our profession, people often hit this invasion of the body snatchers moment where they're on partner track and they become someone different to who they were 10 years ago. If you want to step outside of the corporate world and start your own business, you really can. But just be true to yourself. That sounds very cheesy, but don't waste your life trying to please your equity partners. Your first loyalty is to yourself and fulfilling your potential.
That's really great advice. What tips can you give to students that maybe are looking for training contracts with your law firm, or if you even offer any training contracts with your law firm?
Well, I've got 3 trainees currently, and I've already trained and qualified 1 solicitor. I believe very, very strongly in offering opportunities where I can. What has made my current round of trainees stand out, for example, is that one of my favourite ones was that this particular person organised their own interview and put it in my diary. So I wasn't clear, even by the time the conversation started, what the discussion was going to be about. I knew this person's background and I thought it would be to do with their business. In fact, it was to do with my interviewing them before offering a training contract. So that kind of tenacity and cheekiness will make you stand out. I'm much more interested in someone who will, if they're that determined to get in front of me, then I know they'll be determined to get in front of new clients, and that person is ambitious and looking to establish their own brand, and hopefully they'll stay with me for however long. So for law students, get in touch with people, don't be bland. Again, I don't care about perfect academics. For me, personality is much more important. The technical stuff will come, and that's what I'm for, to teach. I really care much more about attitude. So don't be scared about blending in. Get involved with conversations that you see on LinkedIn. I started a hashtag a week or two ago, which was a lot of fun, just for lawyers. Just start thinking about how you can be different. How can you excite someone like me? It is about being more fun, being more different, showing you understand what I'm looking for and also what your clients are looking for. They're not looking for grey, booted and suited. They're looking for personality and commitment. That's what clients want. Clients want to feel they've got someone in their corner. And that's not about reading the Financial Times and having a global perspective. It's about being an approachable human being.
Thank you so much for taking time and having this interview with us. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure that your advice and the words that you've given will be taken notice of. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Nigel. Thank you.